Hello, YouTube. I have researched the demise of the Soviet space probes to Phobos, the moonlet of Mars, for over 3 decades. To make this story short, I ask you that you watch the playlist Phobos. I have the URL in the description to this video, and it will tell you about my research, and you might have seen me giving presentations in various conferences, my books, lectures, and I made videos for you to see because this is fascinating and dangerous and what's going on there. The bottom line is that there is an alien presence on Phobos that does not want us there, or at least does not want our experiments and testing of our weapons on its soil. American astronaut Buzz Aldrin mentioned an object on Phobos, a monolith. I described the Soviet and Russian information in detail, so please look at my videos. But why now is this video that you're watching right now? To make you understand that those in charge of space programs around the world know that there is something out there, an extraterrestrial intelligence, and are very eager to get to Phobos and Deimos, but Phobos primarily. I do not believe for a second their explanations given to media and the public, but will share them with you. Let the official science and space agencies do their dance. Their dubious explanations are tiresome. I think they know there's something out there. Maybe they fear what is out there and they need to face it. They have a job to do. Just remember, the 2 moonlets are of artificial origin, and do not forget to see my video also about the ancient map of Mars. Most likely it's still hidden in Armenia. And please read Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels once in a while. You see my videos, you'll know why. Look, it seems that he knew more about the 2 moonlets than our esteemed scientists, or most likely they do not share with us what they know. Presently, 11 robotic missions are operating in orbit or on the surface of Mars, and it's more than at any point during the past 6 decades. This includes the many orbiters surveying Mars from orbit, the handful of landers and rovers, and even 1 helicopter, Ingenuity, studying the surface. Soon, maybe in a few years, many more are expected because more nations are now participating in the exploration process. Once they get there, they'll join in the ongoing search for clues about the planet's formation, evolution, and possible evidence that life once existed there. And I'll add from myself, exists there. However, there's also the mystery concerning the origin of Phobos. And this is the mystery. And of course, Deimos, the Mars 2 satellites. While scientists have long suspected that these 2 moons began as asteroids kicked from the main belt that were captured by Mars' gravity, there is no scientific consensus on this point, I bet. This is the purpose of the Martian Moon's Exploration, MMX, mission currently under development by the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, which will explore both moons with the help of a Phobos rover provided by the German Aerospace Center, DLR, and the French National Center of Space Studies, SNES. Actually, CNES, sorry. A trilateral agreement that calls for cooperation between the 3 agencies within the framework of the MMX mission was signed by the 3 agencies at the Paris Air Show, which ran from June 18th to June 25th in Le Bourget, France. As per the agreement, the DLR and the CNES are providing the Phobos rover, officially named IDEFIX, during the event. including its instruments and systems. The rover is now in the final stage of development at the CNES site in Toulouse and is on track for completion by the summer of 2023, so quite soon. Phobos and Deimos are named after the companions of Ares, the god of war in Greek mythology, for whom Mars is the Roman equivalent. Due to their small size, both bodies are irregularly shaped and are similar in appearance to asteroids. These characteristics led to speculation that there were once asteroids that may have originated in the main belt and were kicked out by gravitational perturbances caused by Jupiter. This sent both bodies into the inner solar system, where they were captured by Mars' gravity and settled into their nearly circular orbits. The two satellites also orbit Mars near the ecliptic plane, where all the planets and most of their satellites orbit around the Sun. The orbital mechanics are hard to reconcile with the captured asteroids theory, but are consistent with the alternate theory that Phobos and Deimos are remnants of a huge impact on Mars. Of course, scientists today will not tell you what great Soviet scientist Valery Burdakov revealed about the moonlets, Carl Sagan's Soviet partner Shklovsky, and others. But you watch my videos. It's very important, so you know what we're not being told. The MMX mission will address this mystery by examining both moons and conducting a sample returns from Phobos, similar to how JAXA's Hayabusa 1 and 2 spacecraft, which deployed the Minerva lander and the mascot Rover, returned samples from the near-Earth asteroids Itokawa and Ryugu. If Phobos and Deimos originated from Mars, their surface material would be very similar in composition to Mars. Samples from Phobos are also likely to contain traces of Martian rock that were kicked up as ejecta from later asteroid impacts and landed on the moon's surface. Examining these samples could therefore reveal additional information on Mars' geological history. Per the Trilateral Cooperation Agreement, the MMX spacecraft has a target launch date of 2024 and will land the rover on Phobos sometime in the latter half of the decade. According to Hiroshi Yamakawa, president of JAXA, the Japanese are very excited to collaborate with CNES and DLR as part of the MMX mission, which endeavors to clarify the origin of the Martian moons and the evolutionary process of the Martian sphere by collecting samples from one of Mars' two moons, Phobos, for the first time in space history. Japan shares a precious memory with France and Germany regarding the collaboration during the Hayabusa 2 sample return mission, on which the joint CNES DLR mascot lander flew, and they're looking forward to putting their efforts together once again for a successful MMX mission. The MMX spacecraft consists of three modules: the propulsion, the exploration, and the sample return capsule. The exploration module has landing legs and a suite of instruments, including samplers, and will carry the ID-Fix rover on board. The exploration module and sample return capsule are connected to the propulsion module, where the thrusters and propellant tanks are located. The MMX design has been completed and the project team has commenced with the spacecraft's final manufacture, testing, and integration. After spending a year in transit, the MMX spacecraft will enter orbit around Mars, where the exploration module will begin mapping and characterizing the surfaces of Phobos and Deimos using its 8 scientific instruments. When the spacecraft makes a close pass to Phobos, between 40 and 100 meters from the surface, it will deploy ID-Fix to the surface. The rover will then spend next 3 months studying targets of interest, including sites where the MMX spacecraft will gather samples for an analysis on Earth. Engineers have integrated the rover's instruments and subsystems in the past few months with the carbon-reinforced composite chassis and locomotion system. This included the rover's solar arrays, antennas, power system, onboard computer, radio systems, and the mini-rad radiometer and Raman spectrometer for MMX instruments. These instruments, contributed by the DLR, will allow the rover to measure the thermal radiation emanating from Phobos' surface and characterize its mineralogical properties. The CNES has also contributed 2 navigational cameras and 2 that will monitor the wheels and the surface. The ID-FIX rover is now in the final stage of its space qualification tests at CNES in Toulouse, which measures its ability to withstand the intense vibrations experienced during launch. They also gauge the rover's ability to function in the vacuum and extreme temperature environment on Phobos' surface, which fluctuates by about 200 degrees Celsius, 360 degrees Fahrenheit. The electromagnetic compatibility and other final tests are scheduled to happen before the rover is delivered this summer. The qualification tests are being conducted alongside the mechanical and electrical connection and support systems provided by the DLR, which connects the rover to the MMX spacecraft and controls its release. The communication system provided by the CNES is also being tested during this qualification campaign. This system allows the spacecraft to communicate with the rover and transmit commands and telemetry from Earth. During the signing, Anke Kaiser-Pisala, chair of the DLR executive board, said the following: "When a rover travels over the surface of the Martian moon Phobos for the first time, we will have jointly pushed technological boundaries to learn more about the origin of the solar system and Mars with its moons. Let's hope that the technological boundaries pushed by terrestrial spacecraft do not disturb those who inhabit the moonlet, the monolith on its surface, or whatever intelligence lurks in its bowels. But I know that foolishness will prevail again, as back in 1989, when the Soviets, in tandem with their Western partners, planned to use lasers on the Phobos surface." Well, you know, Japan will try. They have a special corer that will take those samples. So their key to the mission success will obviously be the touchdown on Phobos. And as Jackson noted, the spacecraft should be set down for Phobos for just a few hours. We don't know anything. This is what they tell us. I see no chance for their success. Phobos is inhabited, and those who dwell there do not want us poking into their home with lasers or corers or anything else. It seems that lessons are not being learned, or, of course, most likely, we just don't know even 10% about this mission and what will take place and what they know. This is what I wanted to let you know today. Thank you for your attention to my work. I will bring you more news about interesting space exploration developments, also from China. We shouldn't forget that country and its space program. And if you like my research, by all means, please support me. You'll find the links in the description to this video. Please tell others about my channel so people find out more. And please like my videos. Thank you for your attention to my work.